Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about, some of the scams that are out there. And this doesn't have to be just these two things, it could be a lot of other things. And just pointing out that, look, people who are selling these products simply can't be trusted. They can't be trusted to sell you anything, they can't be trusted for you to do business with or buy things from. And it's nothing personal. I'm not naming any names, but I mean the two of the big examples that come to mind are things like branched chain amino acids and Turkesterone. I'm going to get it wrong. I'll have to just put the spelling in the title. But you know, the BCAAs are a big one. Let's even go to the others. This is something that makes its rounds every few years. And I know experts, I know PhDs who, when they see it come out, they're like, well, there's no evidence in humans that this does anything. There's no real mechanism by which it should work. It's make-believe, and the studies haven't been kind to it. The little bit that's been done, hasn't been kind to it. It's not really something that's useful. And yet, you'll see people who pimp it. And the ironic part is a lot of the people who are selling this product openly admit to being hands, so we're not dealing with a fake natty situation. And hey, I can respect the fact that these people admit to it when most of the industry lies about it, because let's be realistic here. None of your influencers you're following are natty. If they are, they're the exception. And again, you don't have to believe that. I'm just simply calling reality as I see it. And that's not a judgment. Like, that is not a negative judgment. It's like when you say that, you're like, well, you're being a hater. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just calling it like it is. It's just reality. I don't care if they do it. Like, I don't have a moral judgment against it. I don't see any moral issue with it. But, they aren't honest about it. Some flat out lie. We could discuss that. But as those who don't really say anything about it and they just do it, okay. But that's often the norm. Right? That's the norm. But when you have the guys who at least admit to it, it's like, well, they're at least being honest about that. Right? So it almost creates, there's some integrity there maybe. Because at least they're willing to be honest about it. Unlike the majority in the industry. So, okay. So I'm not saying everything is negative about those people. I'm not saying everything is dishonest. Because clearly not. But, the problem is, because these are enhanced people, they know this stuff doesn't work. They know they don't use it personally. They're fully aware it's just a make-believe product, but because they can't sell the stuff that really works, what do? It's like the people who use gear and then they push SARMs, Come on, guys. It's not comparable in terms of benefits. Basically a ripoff. But they can legally, in some cases, sell it to you. So, okay, that's what they're doing. They're making a buck off inferior product. But in the case of the Turk, or ecdysterone and all these things, they don't actually work. And occasionally you'll get somebody says, well, I took them and I felt an effect. Well, either you got a placebo. Hey, that's great. You made some gains from placebo. Or maybe they spiked it with something. Okay? Context. Because I don't know that some of these people aren't spiking it with something. If they're selling a fake product and they're all gear users, they might have access to large amounts of raws. They might be putting some stuff in there. Who knows? I don't know. Because then they can actually sell something that works, I suppose. But again, you come over to, can you trust them? And I'm going to say the answer there is no, because they're also spiking your stuff with things. Okay, that's a problem. That's a problem big time. So it kind of comes back to that, can you trust them ethically? And I'm going to say no. But again, they're also willing to sell you products that don't work because they know they can't sell the stuff that does. Well, they're scamming for money. They could be doing coaching services, other stuff. Coaching is pretty good money. I've been pretty happy with the income I make coaching. And if these guys are knowledgeable, they should probably be able to coach. I get it. Everyone's trying to make a buck. I get it, man. They're hustling, especially in this economy. You know what? But they're selling you products that don't work. They're willing to sell you products that don't work because that's all they can sell for the most part. So there's an ethical issue. The worst, though, is really the BCAAs. Okay, how many people jumped on that? Everybody, even in the evidence-based world, when the data didn't support it. I'm the person who got sued over it for calling it out back before the meta-analysis, so it's always going to be a sore spot for me. But it was a massive scam because everyone was pimping it, all the evidence-based people, until all the meta-analysis came out saying, oh, it doesn't work, it's garbage. It's garbage, doesn't work. Not useful for muscle growth or recovery. 2 meta-analysis now. Well, then everyone dropped it other than a handful of people. But there are still people selling it. There are still people claiming it works who are selling it. Okay? And if you've got people who are willing to sell previously popular products that we know for a fact now, okay, we can't know anything for an absolute fact. We can be reasonably certain, beyond more than a reasonable doubt, that they don't work. And anyone who's selling them is aware of this, because I'm sure anyone who's selling them, there have been people who send them all those meta-analyses, they know about it at this point, yet they're still selling them. So they're willing to sell a product that they know has been completely debunked and write off the previous popularity of it. And then, they'll pull the line, well, because my clients demand it. Okay, I get it with the really big companies, but if you're a smaller influencer, okay, and I'm sorry, 1 million followers, you're still not as big as a major supplement company, okay? And you only sell 7 or 8 products, no, your clients are not demanding. People aren't demanding that you sell BCAAs because they can go buy them from someone else, a larger distributor, possibly cheaper anyways. They're not demanding that you sell them. But again, we come over to the point of if they are. If your followers are demanding a product and you're selling it only because they're demanding it, but it doesn't work, right? That's an issue because you're selling something doesn't work. It's a problem. Now, that's one problem. It's another thing if they're actually claiming they work, because I'm seeing some of that too. They're advertising them as something that actually works in the advertising. And then they're claiming it does this or does that. Well, then this is a problem because now they're flat lying about a product. They're lying about a product. And so here's the question I would ask to the people, when you go to get advice from these people or you want other services, you've got to question the business ethics. Okay? Is this someone you really want to do business with? I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I think it's worth thinking about. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.